Hey, look, we are back with a whole nother episode of On the Porch.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Man, we back here with another episode of On the Porch, and we're here with another special guest today.
He's probably helping your favorite coach build their course, build their businesses, and y'all don't even know it.
Learning how to teach someone how to arrive where you arrived is a whole nother skill. That's teaching. Because you made money doing something don't mean that you acquired the skill of communication, teaching, curriculum development.
We got
Marcus Warrosia. The easiest way to explain what I do, we help people who turn their mind into money. So we package your thoughts into products, services that you can sell and help other people. So we're in the business of helping people who help people. And people think because they made money doing something, now you're going to teach a person how to go from 0 to 10. Even when you're teaching, you're talking about different learning styles. I call it university, right? Y-O-U, university. What you don't know about yourself may be hurting you. Anything you're building, you can build it bigger, faster, and better if you got better with words. If you say, man, I want to build a great relationship, only way you're going to build it is if you get better with words. The same person can sit for 3 days out the week and watch Scandal every week for an hour. Somebody else read a book every week for an hour. It ain't the time that changes your life.
Guys, I know it's been a great episode, but let me put you on game. If you've been in a wreck, let Blessing at your accident, your money, get you a check today.
Man, go ahead and hit her up. Do not hesitate to hit up 888-7money8 for all your accident referrals and get $300 every time. I know you can use an extra $300. I can too. So go ahead up. If you know anybody that's been in an accident, your mom, your uncle, your auntie, your daddy cousin, whoever it is, go ahead and hit up. Tell them to follow her at Instagram at Your Accident, Your Money right now, and then tell her I sent you. Tell her On the Porch sent you, and she gonna mess with you, and she gonna give you a great deal. Let's get it done. Hey, look, we are back with a whole nother episode of On the Porch, guys. You already know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, go over to the other platforms and leave us 5 stars. Say something nice about us. Continue moving us up those charts. And guess what? By those charts, I mean Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever that is. Go ahead and get with us. Let us know what you think. And look, we're going bigger and better, and make sure you go ahead and join the membership as well. If you're not a part of our membership, then you are missing out. BJ.
Amen. 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 Hey, it's your boy _BJ Real, man. We back here with another episode of On the Porch. And like I said, man, we're going guest for guest for guest. We're going bigger and better every time. And we're here with another special guest today.
Man, we here with another special guest, right? We got Marcus Warrosia, right? He is out here killing it. He's probably helping your favorite coach build their course, build their businesses, and y'all don't even know it. Y'all trying to figure out, man, why is this framework so great? It's because of this man right here. So I'm going to let him introduce himself because he do way more than that. Go ahead and let him know who you are.
Man, how do you even come behind that? I got to jump in. Hey, man.
You got to jump into it. You got to get it.
Hey, man. Man, how do you talk about yourself? Well, I'm Marcus Warrosia. The easiest way to explain what I do is 3 levels of it. So if a person has raw ideas and they're posting content, we show you how to turn that content into getting clients and leads for your business. Secondly, once you're already generating leads, how you can make consistent 5 figures or more a month with our monthly launch and sales system. And last but not least, how to transition from hustling, selling products to building an entire online business. So if someone's thinking, hey, what about apparel? We don't do apparel. We help people who turn their mind into money. So we package your thoughts into products, services that you can sell and help other people. So we're in the business of helping people who help people.
You had a struggle with this, huh? Did you? Because not with the business, but you had a struggle in turning your idea into money at one point, huh?
Yeah, I think we all do, right? So the hardest place to make it out of is not neighborhoods, it's out of our head. Where most people get stuck in a thought and they don't close the gap. So why would it take us 5 years to go from I want to I did it?
Yeah.
Simply because there's so many things in our head. Sometimes we're gifted at more than one thing. Sometimes we are gifted, but we don't know how do I package and market my gift. So knowing how to podcast and knowing how to market ain't the same. So you get frustrated because you know how to do it. You just don't know how to do it so you can get it in front of more people. So we're talking about how do you package it, market it, launch it, sell it. Those are the 4 steps we walk people through. An idea isn't an idea until it's packaged and marketed. So this cell phone, as long as it's an idea, you can't get paid for it.
That's true.
It's only when you package it, market it, launch it, sell it, do you get paid for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now with you, how did you even get into it? Like, so how did you even figure out, you know what, this is a problem that people need help with?
Yeah, let's go to the beginning.
Like, let's go to it. Like, what got you to that point where you say, because where were you at before you even started all this stuff? Where were you at?
Yeah. So, my journey began with what I think how all of our journey should begin, fixing our own problem.
Yeah.
You know, you qualify to solve other people's problem by how well you solve yours. So 2010, I started the journey, started speaking. I started a 5-year personal development journey where my goal was to read a book a week. So around like 2010, I read 52 books in that year.
Okay.
2011, 60-something books. By 2012, I slowed down and realized I wasn't remembering. It became the goal to get through the book, which is not the goal of learning. But I was just so obsessed with trying to grow and improve. By 2015, and we're talking about every day, 2 hours and 40 minutes or more, just developing, learning, practicing speaking. I worked on removing redundancy. So if you notice, I don't do all that. I don't judge anyone who does it, but I worked diligently to remove those from my vocabulary. Why? Because I understand the power of speech. So I don't care whether you fighting wars over territory or land. Eventually, the people who sit down to communicate about it is who get the deal done.
Wow. So wait. So I didn't. A lot of people don't. That's gonna go over a lot of people's head because people don't understand the power of communication and what could come from that alone, right? And just like a lot of the most powerful speakers we know. I mean, you got your ET, you got your Inky Johnson, you got all those people.
Yeah.
The only reason that first of all, they're impacting a lot of people through communications, which leads to income. Do you see that a lot?
100%. So I tell anybody, anything you're building, you can build it bigger, faster, and better if you got better with words. If you say, man, I want to build a great relationship, only way you're going to build it is if you get better with words. Man, I want to build a great company. How are you going to build a company if you're not good with words? How does your staff know what to do? How do you negotiate deals? How do you hire? How do you fire? How do you train? If you say, hey, I want to build a great podcast, the only way you hold people's attention is if you get better with words.
That's true.
Whether that's words spoken in front of the camera or words written on a thumbnail or words written in the description. Hey, I want to grow a big brand on social media. Only way you're going to do it is if you get better with words.
Yeah.
So just think about that. There's nothing you can build and there's nothing you will buy if it has a poor description. Go to a restaurant to order food and you order based on picture and description.
That's true.
I guess
if it don't got a picture, I don't even know what it is.
Picture or description.
Like communication or like public speaking specifically, that's probably like a fear for like most people. Was that like something you had to overcome, or were you like a natural at it?
100. I think we all do. And the only thing you're overcoming is the picture you have of yourself. Public speaking, what makes public a number of people? Speaking to 1 and speaking to 100 is still public speaking.
It's public. Yeah.
Hey, sir, what would you like to order? That's public speaking. Let me get
That's crazy. My wife be so mad at me because I go to the window and mess up every time.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I want to be a speaker. I obviously need to be learning from this.
You that guy sitting in line acting like you don't know what's on the menu.
I tell him every time I pull up, give me 1 second.
We got to know.
Here go the crazy part. You drove there knowing what you got to take. What you going to get, man? I'm finna go get me a chicken sandwich. Get to the menu. Welcome to Chick-fil-A. Can I help you? Give me a second. Bro, what do you want?
Every time.
That you never know. You never know. So I guess with this, when you start with this development and you was going through that development, after you start realizing that you wasn't retaining the information. You was just pretty much
you just reading it. Yeah.
So what did you end up doing to fix the problem? Because that's a lot of people problems when they get it with courses and stuff. They buy a lot of courses. They listen to a lot of videos. They listen to a lot of podcasts, but don't remember none of it.
Because they think that the goal of learning is learning. So if you're doing nothing, you feel good just saying I went to the gym. Don't nobody care how long you went if we don't see results.
That's true. Yeah.
So when you're initially starting, you celebrate, and here's the difference, right? It's a difference between a person saying, hey, I've been on a diet for 30 days, and a person making a decision to make a lifestyle change and say, I'm going to live healthy. If I ask you how long you've been brushing your teeth, you don't know.
You don't.
It's a part of your everyday regimen. So when you're going to be great at something, you don't count the days.
Wow.
You don't count the days. You don't keep track of something. So when we're talking about that, there's something about a person feeling like giving themselves a gold star like they in school. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just getting started, or at least I'm trying. So to your point, people think that the goal of learning is learning. So they feel like sitting at a seminar, taking pictures and saying you was there is enough. Buying the book is enough. They think that the transformation of their life happens in the transaction. It doesn't.
They actually got to apply it.
Yeah. So I don't listen to listen. I listen for what I need in order to apply it. So I take what you're saying, I translate it into what makes sense for me. I understand the value of one piece of information can change my life. 2 pieces of information, 3 pieces of information. So my man Life is in here. He knows. He could say it in the background. Every Thursday is what? Is what day, Life?
Sit down my thoughts, schedule my thoughts.
Think day.
So you said that.
Think day.
I remember that.
So if you teach me something that can change my life, I'm going to give a great example. This will make all the sense in the world. If I told both of y'all, hey man, I want to donate to the show, I'm going to give both of y'all $1 million.
Let's do it.
And if on the show, I gave you instructions on how to find $1 million, how well would it be enough to hear me say it, or would you listen in detail to never forget where to find it?
Oh, listen in detail. For sure.
Yeah.
Because it don't matter, just to hear it.
That's what most people do. They listen to the $1 million and forget the instructions on how to find it.
Wow.
It does you no good for you to get excited about $1 million, but you can't remember where to find it. So the same way, you need an information management system for your mind to figure out how do you find the information you learned over the last few years. Can you find it whenever you want? If you can't, it don't help you.
Yeah, that's true. I was finna say, I'll probably go through all my notebooks, maybe all my notes on my phone. They scatter everywhere. They so
I got like
you know what?
5.
But you don't treat nothing else in your life that way.
So how important is it to organize your thoughts then? Because I know you say you actually schedule a day out of the week just to sit down with your thoughts. We don't even think about organizing our thoughts because I know for a fact that
I don't have a day.
I don't
I have
have
a Tuesday. You say you.
That's in the morning time. I meditate in the morning time. That's why I'm go to the gym in the morning. I go later on in the day that day. But
I don't want to over talk, but here let me give the concept so y'all can feel guilty. Can feel guilty real quick.
Go ahead.
So typically when I'm talking to people, the reason why we'll sit with a person, we'll have a meeting with a person, but don't sit with thoughts, is because we respect people more than we respect thoughts. But we don't realize that everything you have and everything you buy is a thought. This microphone is a thought. Cell phone is a thought. Money is spent for people to purchase thoughts. People who are wealthy are those who package, market, and sell their thoughts to people. And if you buy more thoughts than you sell, you go broke.
And that's where you come in at. That's what we got.
What's a car? A thought.
A thought. Because somebody thought it.
So why wouldn't you sit with the thing that runs the economy? Who get paid the most? People who think, not people who work.
That's
what
true.
I just told my girl. I just told my girlfriend. I was like, I had 2 dreams last night. I was like, they'll both be great movies. But I ain't turn it into an actual thing. So
did you write it down?
No. So it's nothing to be do with it. I was like, that would be a great movie. And I was like so like engaged in the dream and everything. I was like, this would be a great movie. Didn't write it down.
It might be some for a movie. God, you never know what God put in you.
Yeah.
Bro, if every day you gave somebody $100 and you realized that they forgot where they placed it, when would you stop giving them $100?
This next day.
At least by day 3.
Yeah, for sure.
So why would God entrust new resources to a man that don't know where he put the last idea he gave him?
Hey, we not gonna get too deep on that route. Not yet. we gonna get on it though. But look, we gonna give you at least. So I want to at least give you time to talk about your business though, right before I get into it and try to ask about the spiritual. We build big in our faith and stuff.
Man,
if I got a church. Yeah,
both of my grandmas. So I definitely got to hear how you are aligning church and all that stuff with business. But we gonna get, I know you probably got a lot to say about it. But, so now you said they gotta learn how to package their thoughts and put it out there.
Yeah.
So how are you helping people do that? And how important is it for someone that has a thought or creating content for them to package? How important is that for them?
So I'll start with how are we doing it? Ultimately, nothing works without there being a process. So for us, we have a process to extract the information from you. It could be as simple as how you're interviewing me. You're extracting information from me. Tell me how you got started. You just extracted information. Tell me the biggest mistake you made. You just extracted information. How are you helping people?
That's big, yeah. No, the episode is fire. I get it. But we have to make sure that you get your taxes in this tax season. So why not get them done by the best in the game, KDP Tax Services? I mean, they're going crazy right now. $7,000 cash advances starting January 2nd. Guess what? That's upon approval, though. But also, they're in all 50 states, and it's virtual, so you ain't got to worry about leaving the comfort of your home. They also going crazy with the referrals. So you want to make a little cash? I know you do. I like to. So go ahead, hit them up, get the referrals as well. And also, they do tax preparation, especially for the self-employed. Guys, I know you hate doing bookkeeping. I know you hate doing all that stuff. So to keep all that stuff and get your taxes prepped, go ahead and hit up KDP Tax Services right now. They're going crazy. BJ, I mean, what you got to say about them?
Guys, don't delay. Get your taxes done today. And why not from the best tax specialist in America, guys?
The best in the game.
Y'all can follow her on Instagram and Facebook at KDP_tax services. She even has a website, guys, that you guys could go to. It's kdptaxservices.com. And her phone number, hit her up, guys. Her phone number is 910-704-3253. Don't delay. Get your taxes done today.
Let's do it.
So what if you took all of that and said, how did I get started? That's a module. What are the mistakes that you made and how would you avoid them? That's a process. So it's as simple as that, except we've already built out a framework that makes it easier for us to extract it. Everything we do is done for you. So we do done for you messaging, done for you course creation, done for you high ticket coaching programs, done for you funnels, email marketing, all the way down to sales scripts. What happens when someone says no to you? What's your follow-up sequence? What's your abandoned cart sequence? What's your nurture sequence? So we're building a business, not just helping somebody sell.
So with that, you said framework.
Yeah.
Keyword,
Yeah.
framework. And most of us that say we have businesses and all that stuff don't have a framework. And do you think that's why most people don't succeed is because of framework, or do you need a framework?
Yeah, you do. You do. No company runs. Let me word it in a different way. Some could call it standard operating procedure. Mm-hmm. Some could call it a recipe, right? So the best way I can word this to you, or to someone who says, man, I want to figure this out. I tell people, when you're creating a process or framework for your business, frameworks are a little different than SOPs, but I would just say it this way. When we do this, then we want what to happen, right? So we're saying when we reach out to a client, then we want what to happen next. Well, if you haven't thought through that, it's too unpredictable, and you cannot manage, grow, or scale things that are that unpredictable. How do you even replace yourself and hire somebody else? You're going to be mad at a person they don't know what to do. So my team knows, okay, when a client sends this, we send that. When this happens, then that happens. There ought to be all these different sequences that tells you within a company. If somebody DMs you and asks you, hey, how do I get on the show? What's the process? What do they see? What's the process? Like, everything has to have this ongoing process. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, for real, we doing it. Yeah.
Or if we say day of, if we're saying, hey, we're doing a workshop, how many emails go out? For us, 3 go out the day of, 2 text messages. There's 3 emails, 2 text messages. What happens after? There's a 7-day sequence after. What happens if a person, so you segment people. If somebody signs up and don't attend, what do they hear? If somebody attends but don't stay to the end, what do they hear? Somebody stays to the end but don't buy, what do they hear? Somebody buys, what happens for them? Those are the scenarios that grows companies. You think that Apple don't know how to reach out to you, or Amazon? What happens if you go to Amazon and leave? That's a sequence that says you left a few items in your cart. And it's even time to say it when to follow up. When you purchase, people who purchase this also purchase that. Where in my business, that's a one-click offer or order bump. When you buy something, you suggest that they buy something else. Because the easiest time to get people to buy is right after they bought. Yeah. If you don't buy it and you leave.
Explain that to me. Why is that the easiest time?
Because there is a chemical emotion that happens when someone purchases something. Everybody loves buying things. They hate being sold anything. So when somebody tries to sell you, you have sales resistance and you say, no, I'm okay.
That's true.
But you don't mind buying things that's actually exciting when you're buying something that you want. You pull out your phone and show off and express and share that you just bought a new camera, just bought a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
So everybody loves buying stuff. They hate being sold anything. So while you're in the process of buying, the easiest time to sell to a person is while they're buying something.
People do hate being sold to.
But they love buying.
So how do you make them feel like they're not being sold to?
Well, selling takes a bad rap. People think selling is this negative thing. It's like we act like selling is like being a dude in the mall saying, "Miss Lady, excuse me, shorty with the black,
Let me wipe your shoes."
You're right. That's not selling, right? That's hustling. Selling, if done correctly, is such a seamless act that you feel like the idea was your own. Everything you ever bought, somebody sold to you. So the idea is to marketing solves the problem of selling. What is marketing? It is where you can position and interrupt a conversation somebody's already having in their mind on a desire they already have. I can't make you hungry, but when you're hungry, I can position food in front of you that appeals to your desire. That's marketing. So I don't have to convince you to buy food if you're hungry. I shouldn't have to convince you to buy a product. I am helping you make a decision you already wanted to make.
That's crazy because I say this in our company, right? And with real estate, because you just never think about it like that, because I'm not convincing anybody, right? I'll probably persuade you to do something that you already want to do, right? So when we call, I'm just doing this for for the people to understand. If I'm calling people about their houses all day, I'm not staying on the phone with somebody that said they don't want to sell their house. I'm just like, all right, cool, on to the next one. Yeah. But if I'm on the phone with somebody that's like, I'm not sure. Now I know that they have that thought in their head. Yeah, is that correct?
It depends on every scenario, but yeah, right. So a person being indecisive doesn't mean that they don't want it. I'm an example guy, so this will make all the sense in the world. If you ask anybody, is it healthy for you to drink Coca-Cola? And I'm not, no shade on Coca-Cola, right? I don't drink soda, but
shade on. But no, we want a sponsorship, so no shade on y'all.
So if we say, is it healthy? The whole world will say, no.
Yeah, that's fair.
But do people drink Coca-Cola?
Oh, yes. Football game, basketball game. Hand me a Coca-Cola.
I watched
me personally, but everybody.
Right. I watched my uncle like years ago before he passed. He had an older truck, and corrosion would get on the battery really bad. Mm-hmm. So all that build up where the car wouldn't crank. Nothing was wrong with the car, but all of that acid would build up. And in order to clean off the acid, he would open up a Coca-Cola, pour it on there, and it would tear the acid off the battery.
Yeah, I know people that do that. I know people that do that still.
To clean the acid off the battery. That's all I need to see to never drink Coke. In my head, I'm like, if it's strong enough to clean acid off a battery, what does it do to my insides? Now, here's my point in this. That's crazy. Adults or people in general do not always make the decision that is best for them. This is why we miss flights. This is why we're late for things. This is why majority of America is obese and have bad credit. No one says that I want to have bad credit, but small, incremental decisions or lack of decisions lead to it. Nobody, 50% divorce rate. No one gets married saying I want to end up divorcing my wife. No one buys a house saying that I want to lose the house. No one goes to school saying I want to drop out. So how do we start with one desire and end up with the opposite? Because we either make bad decisions or we live too long in indecision and we don't realize indecision is a decision to stay stuck.
This is why I had to have them on. This is why. Because let me tell you, I got a phone full of notes when you was talking, right? I like recordings. I recorded on one phone, taking notes on one phone. I got my iPad out on the other one, taking a whole bunch of notes because the stuff that you're saying is so prolific that you probably don't even notice. You probably just giving out stuff that you know.
I'm just talking, bro.
You just talking.
You just have a regular conversation.
But I am only talking about things I've experienced, right? So I'm not talking at people like I've perfected these things.
Okay.
Well, let me not say it that way. I'm talking about things that I've personally experienced, went through, am going through, and I'm honest about it, right? So some people talk philosophy from a book. I do not talk philosophy or concepts from a book. I talk about that 5 years. October 10th, 2010, I made a commitment to invest no less than 2 hours and 40 minutes every day into me. Why? You can't ask somebody, my concept, you can't ask somebody to ever give you what you didn't give yourself, right? So that investment, October 10th, 2010, all the way to now, every single day I converted, and here's how I got started, right? To make it make sense. Mm-hmm. Money was important to me at the time, was a high priority. So I converted time into money. I made every hour worth $100, whole day worth $2,400. I grew up in church where tithe was a big thing. Mm-hmm. So I said, I promised God that every day I would give tithe of the day into the gift he gave me.
Like?
So $240. Oh. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Now, that's not perfect 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it's easy math, right? So if we say 2 hours and 40 minutes, pay to the order of, that's a $240 a day check to my gift. Gee. Now, this year, It's 2013. Next year is 2014. I've been doing this since October 10th, 2010. Every day I paid me.
Every day?
So I got, yes, every day.
Man.
So that means I have a multi-million-dollar gift. Why? Because I paid myself that.
This is extremely important, and I want to just dive into that, and dive into your business, but we got to pause right here.
Bro, we don't have to get into the business.
I know, but that's the point, because right now I'm a new husband, a new dad.
That's what I wanted to get into.
New dad. Wow, girl, boy.
Got a boy.
You got a
Man,
boy.
congrats.
8 months.
You just dropped him off.
Congrats, man. I got a baby girl, 6.5 months.
Hey, it's fun. It's a joy. Literally, like, for real. I'm not saying it's sarcastic. It's really fun.
He has a great kid. He doesn't cry a lot. All that.
I enjoy it.
That's what's up.
I enjoy having him, man. But it's like, with all, and then run the real estate business, podcast, and I literally I had to decide I had to try to ease off of coaching so much, because I'll have people come in. I was coaching people. I was getting results, and I was like, my wife started. My priorities. I was working a long time. My wife started feeling type of way, and I'm like, all right. And I learned that I ask people all the time when I meet them, like, they've been married longer than me or something, or older people. I ask them advice, and that's one of the things they say, like, hey, that's the main thing in your life, right there, besides God.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, something got to go. And it was like, all right, I can't be coaching until 10 o'clock. I can't. So I started saying, I'm building a community. That's beside, we'll talk about that later on. But the point is, so if I'm doing all this stuff, got to be with my kid, and I want to spend time, I really never have time for myself and just think about putting time into me.
100%. So
how important is that concept to just be able to make sure that you're pouring into yourself every day?
Man, you couldn't have asked me this question at a better time. Reason being, I have been there now, and I'm teaching that this weekend. We got a retreat here in Atlanta, and one of the things I'm talking about, this idea, I call it university, right? YOU, university. What you don't know about yourself may be hurting you. And the idea, most people think it's selfish to not care for other people, to not give other people time. I think it's selfish to not give yourself time, especially when you're saying, hey, I do real estate. I provide for my family. I'm a father. What we don't take into the equation is we are the raw resource that holds it together. Yeah. So no one will spend all their time painting a house and never build the foundation. But if you're the foundation of the things that you're building, why wouldn't you care for you?
Yeah.
It is the most negligent thing you can do, is not care for yourself. That sounds self-centered. It sounds selfish, when really it's negligent to not think that way.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
And I just got into the point where I was like, you know what, I'm taking a little time, right? Just like, all right, here and there. But like I said, then we got the podcast. Like, I mean, it's so much stuff that can take you away from you that you really never take the time. BJ, do you deal with that ever?
Yeah, all the time. But I want to ask a question, because I'm currently in a relationship, and I have planned, the girl I'm with right now, I have plans to get married with and all that. So, in your opinion,
wait, you ain't talking about that. What? Okay.
Why do you think?
I'm jealous. You can ask me.
Hey, he felt more comfortable with me.
I don't got no. She don't give me no reason not to. So it's like. But in your opinion, why do you think like the divorce rate is like 50% at 50% right now?
Man, I'm happy the way you phrased that question, right? It's in your opinion.
Yeah,
Great
in your
way.
opinion.
I'm such a stickler for words. So, like, if you would have said, why is it that way? I don't know. But in my opinion, I get to lend that. I think it's I think it's layered. So, I always lean to personal development. What I mean by that is, I believe that most people don't know who they are. That they couldn't pick themselves out in a lineup. You get what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So, when I say that phrasing, picking yourself out in a lineup is to say, I know what someone gets when they get me. The average person does not know what someone get when they get them. They lack what I refer to as self-awareness, where you know you're honest with yourself. Self-awareness and self-honesty, to say, I'm aware that this is what I am, and self-honesty. I'm aware and honest with my wife. I 100% understand what it takes for me to be my best. I'm not selfish. I'm not naive. I don't pretend. I don't lend myself to act like I don't need what I need. You understand?
I understand what you're saying.
So I think some people go into marriages without an awareness of what they will need. If you know that you like a big butt and a smile, right?
Yeah, why you ain't go with it?
Most self-honesty, people are afraid to be honest with themselves and say, I need this. Visually, this is what hold my attention. Why? Because culture will make you think it's shallow.
They do make you think it's shallow. And I tell people, oh my God, I tell people all the time, I'm like, bro, y'all don't understand. And this is probably something that y'all probably don't think important, but I'm like, look, I know for a fact looks are important because I got to be with you for the rest of my life. Looks got to be important because I want to look at you.
Yeah.
I think it's several layers. And for some people, looks isn't as high.
And it may
as high.
not be the highest.
I heard some people say they don't date off of looks, but I'm like,
some people don't.
let's be honest now.
Some people don't. I really believe some people don't because all of our needs aren't the same.
That's true.
Like our highest priority and our needs aren't the same. Like when you think about, I'm trying not to go deep with this, man.
You go deep, man. Forget at this point, forget it. We just having a conversation.
We're gonna change the topic. We're gonna change the title to whatever we're talking about.
All right, so
let's go ahead and
I'll just say it this way. To your point, why do people divorce? You're not your body. You are your mind.
Yeah.
Like you're not your physical body. That alters, changes. You are your mind. You are the makeup of your perceptions, your ideas, your images, your thoughts, right? So that's who you are. This is the part. You don't hear with your ears. You hear with your mind.
Whoa, let me break that down, go deeper.
Your ears is not how you're hearing. Your ears is the transmission system to your mind that perceives the information, processes based on what you know or what you don't know. So if I'm talking, your education determines what your mind computes to whether you can understand what I'm talking about or not. You don't even see with your eyes. You see with your mind.
I'm about to join
Your eyes take it in, flip it up upside down, there's an image. You don't speak with your mouth. You speak with your mind. So when you're going into a marriage, you think the most important thing is the thing that you're not, your eyes. It's not your ears, it's not your eyes, it's not your mouth, it's your mind. So if a person doesn't have self-awareness, perception of themselves, self-honesty, this is their self-dialogue. Dr. Carolyn Lee said this. She says 80% of sickness happens based on people's thought life, not diet. 80%. 85% of our thoughts are negative. Only 15% of our thoughts are positive.
That's fact.
Now take an 85% record playing all day long and take that person who is their thoughts with another person.
Oh,
And
wow.
don't be self-honest enough to say to the person, this is who I am, this is how I feel, I'm insecure, I'm immature. No. So you take all of that, whoever you are, you take you wherever you go. Self-awareness, self-honesty, self-identity, self-love, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-discipline, self-control. And most men never practice fidelity until they were married. Whereas too much is state for you.
Wow. Whoa.
You ain't practiced this ever. How do you practice while you're alone? Being able to keep your word to yourself.
And not only men, you women too. You never practiced it before. Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Like, so some will say, well, if I'm single, how do I practice? Have you ever gave yourself a word and kept it? Because all you're doing is keeping your word to you, even in the absence of the person that you said I do to. If you ain't never did that, you never even practiced being honest or keeping your word.
So do you think somebody that's not a man of their word, they're like probably more prone to cheating?
Why wouldn't they be? Right? Do I think that?
I wouldn't even put two and two together until you just said it.
Bro, so if you stand in front of a person and say, I do, what's the difference between you saying I do your whole life to everything else?
Let me, BJ, you remember we argued about this? I remember we was at the gym one day and we argued about this. I said I could never do business with a person that cheat on their wife. Why is that? Because if you gonna lie to God himself when you say I do, I know for a fact you gonna lie to me. I just know it.
In this case.
You just helped me out. Do you believe that? Do you think you could work with somebody that and don't let what I say persuade you? Of course,
Bro, I wouldn't.
Look, I can tell you wouldn't do that. Hey, just mindset too strong. But do you think that's true?
So I'm a little different in terms of that, right? I can do business with a person I don't like and with a person I don't trust. I got contracts and processes for that. I do business with people based on efficiency. If in order to accomplish my vision and my dream, I need to like and trust everybody I do business with, I can't build my dream. Because there's going to be a lot of people I don't like that are efficient in what they do. Now, will I do life with them? No. When I say do business, I wouldn't do a partnership.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So partnership, because I gotta like you to do that. I gotta like you. I gotta like you and have some level of trust. But even in that, I train even the clients I coach in my CEO program. Even if I don't trust you, I got processes for that. Anytime I don't trust a person in my company, I pair a head with a heart. So I got people who have my heart that don't have the skill. Say you're a CPA and you're better than the CPA that I trust. That's fine. You have the head for numbers and for taxes, but you don't run it by yourself. You have a director and a manager you report to that has my heart. Now I don't have to trust you. I just plug you into a system where you don't have access to anything.
Now that we in this trust thing, we into this trust thing, right? And we talking about, doing business with people you trust and how to handle that. I know there are people that are out, and I'm just gonna pair this with what you do. There are people that are scammers in this scam culture. You know about it, and it's been going crazy lately, right? You got some, I ain't gonna say no names, but you got people that's calling people out saying, hey, they scamming, they doing this, they doing that. Do you ever work with those people that you made? Like, what's your process of knowing who's a scammer or not? Because that could tarnish your brand if they was to be like, oh, he helped me build and they turned out to be a scammer.
Yeah, so I don't think it would tarnish my brand.
Not badly, but
No, it wouldn't at all, right? So I'll tell you what I mean. Whoever made this microphone, you can get on here and cuss, scream, rap, do whatever you want. Their brand is not tarnished by what you say on it.
That's true.
I'm building for someone, like if you were franchising a business, I'm building for someone an entire business. I'm taking their raw ideas, etc. So me building an infrastructure and a system for you to be able to do business, I'm actually removing the likelihood of you scamming people because now you have a fully functional system.
It's a system. You probably couldn't even get past the first or second step, huh?
Right, or for the person. Sometimes I think when people use the word scam, I think there is a difference between someone who willfully goes into something to promise someone something with no desire to fulfill on it versus a person who promises someone and don't know how to fulfill on it. Ignorance is different from a person having intention. So a scam is when I promise you X with the intention of never providing it. Promise you these, bro, you can have these Tom Fords. It's nothing in it. So I'm selling you a promise with nothing inside of it. That's a scam. But it is not a scam if I promise you something and I thought I would be able to build this and don't, and I lack the proper channels, communication to be able to do it in a timely manner. So with me building the infrastructure and the system of how you deliver on it, meaning we're automating somebody's whole business. So if you sell me on a course on real estate and you say, oh man, I was busy doing the podcast so I didn't send it. Well, we solved that because when they purchase, it's automated. It's delivered to the person. We set up your customer support channels, your customer support email channels. We set up your compliance. We set up your contracts. We set up all these things where you can log in and see it. Was it delivered? How much of the course they actually viewed?
I love that.
So because the business is being built, we solve that problem. But to answer it differently, there is a difference between you not knowing what it is you purchase. Your ignorance concerning my business does not make what I sold you a scam.
That's true.
There are people who don't know what they were buying. What they bought was the result of the person selling it. They didn't buy the program. If the person is marketing their lifestyle, but they're selling a course on how to get started in real estate, you were trying to buy their lifestyle when they promised you how to learn how to do real estate.
That's true.
That's not a scam, fam. You bought thinking you would be me in a day.
Yeah,
that's true. and that's, I think that's one of the questions. How you feel about this? Obviously, it's a lot of. How do you solve this problem where you keep? I guess there's no way you really can solve it, but you keep people from coming to you that's trying to just get rich fast. Because most of the stuff that's going on, that a lot of these coaches, and I'm not taking up for any of them, but a lot of people y'all call scammers or whatever, y'all just thought it was a get rich quick scheme, but it's nothing in life is that most of the time, right? Yeah. So how do you keep people from keep those type of people away from your course or your business? Because I guess those are questions you can ask to see.
Yeah, so great question. I'll go back to, you said, how do I avoid it? Mm-hmm. Well, we don't sell courses.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, you don't.
We
Yeah.
don't sell courses. We are the people who build out someone's course and/or program or complete online education and coaching and consulting company.
Right.
Now, how do we avoid who we work with? Well, I'm happy you asked. Because I didn't trust my salespeople, I created a process where my salesperson cannot sell to you. You can't click on any button and press a button and spend me your money to work with me. It's just like real estate. If you were trying to go get a mortgage on a home, you would have to do what? Go to the bank and get pre-approval.
Right.
Get your credit ran, as well as a person would have to look and see how much home you qualify for, correct? Mm-hmm. That's our process. You can't click a button and work with us. You fill out an application. From that application, you get on a call with a person to figure out and learn more about what your expectations are, what you're trying to do. We have an enrollment team that looks you up online. So it's a team of people who look up. If you say, hey, I'm killing, I'm doing this, and this. They're looking you up. Why? This is the same thing that the housing market would do. This is the same thing that a job would do.
Yeah.
Now, how is that different in my position? Because I'm not desperate, right?
You're right.
I'm not looking for somebody to just pay me money. I'm looking to partner with people to help people that are helping people. I don't abandon my faith when I do business. Mm-hmm. So if you came to me and said, I want to build a house so I can rob people, I'm not going to build the house. So why would I build something for you to take money from someone's mama, someone's brother, someone's sister, someone's auntie, someone's grandmother? So the enrollment team is going to look it up for more than one reason. Number one, we want to see, are you legitimate? Number two, I want to see when you had 100% responsibility of your business, what did you do with it? Because you're going to come with false expectation and think I'm a miracle worker. So you want to build a brand and say your goal is to make $1 million, but I look at your page and I can't find nothing about you, just pictures of nothing wrong with you posting your son, but where your business?
Yeah.
So you ain't done no marketing, no promotion, and you say, well, I hired y'all for marketing. No. Because you're still going to have to think you're a business. You're still going to have to do the work. So that for me would automatically be either a no, or we will put them at a level in our company or one of our other offers that makes sense for that. If you're in ideation and you don't know what you want to do, you would get access to my thoughts, but not my time. I don't coach live to people that don't know what they want to do.
So do you think anybody with a business is qualified to like sell a course or like training?
No, I don't.
Why so?
Because teaching other people how to do what you do is a different skill. You ever been riding with someone that knows where they're going but don't know how to tell you when to turn?
Yeah.
Man, why you didn't tell me I missed it? My bad, bro. Man, I might as well drive. It's easier for you to get in the car and drive than it is to tell somebody, hey, 2 rows up, make a left. 3 rows up, make a right. So if you're in the driver's seat, you can navigate without the navigation system. But if you're on the phone telling somebody, how hard is it to direct them? Learning how to teach someone how to arrive where you arrived is a whole nother skill. That's teaching. Because you made money doing something don't mean that you acquired the skill of communication, teaching, curriculum development. Because teaching is not just getting in front of a camera and saying all that you know. It has to be placed in a chronological order for it to be processed in a person and it makes sense to a person. So I would have to know what's the starting point. What's what we call the failure points of the course. If you're doing real estate, what's the fail points? A person having access to capital, person having credit, person knowing what house makes sense, learning what an appraisal is,
right?
Learning what are the margins to make sure they don't overspend. These are fail points. So if you don't know how to pick a person up in a specific place and walk them and navigate them, people think because they made money doing something, now you're going to teach a person how to go from 0 to 10. You don't know curriculum development. You don't know. Even when you're teaching, you're talking about different learning styles. Some people are kinesthetic. Yeah. Some people are auditory. Some people are visual. There are some people that while you're talking and teaching learn nothing. They only learn through doing. There are some people that learn through a combination of both. So we have a learning process of teach, do, review, lunch. I teach the information. I pause in real time based on the framework and say, all right, y'all work through it. If I teach our lunch system, right? All right, so everybody walk me through theirs. When they're walking me through it, I teach it to them. I let them write it out to do it. And the review is when they're telling me what I just taught them. It's teach the teacher. Then it's, here's what you're going to do to lunch is next steps. Now I can approve the learning. So guess what the person can't walk away saying? You ain't teach me nothing. That's a lie. Because you now, you now have something tangible and you're creating a win. So how a course is mapped out, bro, what most people have is not a course. It's just videos recorded. And they're not the same.
Hold on. And just to his point earlier, like, my mom, she sent me and my brother with our cousin to learn how to drive. So we get on the highway and he's like skirting through traffic, like going in between cars, honking at people, like, get out the way, like, what are y'all doing? And it's like, okay, he got his driver license and he knows how to drive, but he's not the best driver. He's probably almost caused like 10 accidents. So it's like, just because you got a business doesn't mean you're qualified to teach other people how to start up their business in the perfect way.
100%, because you can teach what you know, but you can only produce what you are. So if you're talking about producing results from people, I can teach you, like my wife had a child. I can talk about what it's like to have a baby, but I can't produce one.
No. That's true.
I can, and there's nuance in it of how her spine felt when the baby was coming out. What it felt like when her water broke. I know that she screamed, so I can tell you the reaction and I can explain the pain. But there's certain nuance that comes into when you've actually done something, when you've done it and documented it. That's totally different. So for me, I understand I have a skill as it relates to communication. I worked hard at it. Mm-hmm. I have a skill as it relates to learning how to educate people. I've worked at that. Communication is a skill. Speaking is a skill. Writing is a skill. Coaching is a skill. Consulting is a whole nother. And there's a difference between coaching and consulting, right?
Wow. I ain't never think about that.
Yeah. Coaching is where I lead, where it's in you or around you, and I'm trying to bring out the best in you, right? I'm leading you to, you got a particular skill, inquiry, meaning I'm posing questions to lead you to the answer. Whether it is I am challenging you or comforting you or helping you make adjustments on something you're doing. I consult, meaning my clients come to me and they are not telling me, I'm telling them, here is what we're doing. Here's our lunch and sales system. Here's our messaging process. Here's the funnel we're using. Where I'm taking my experience of what I've done and plugging it into theirs and extracting you and plugging you into it. The best way I word it to them, I'm franchising my business and my results. If you bought a McDonald's, you wouldn't have to guess what's on the menu. Buying the franchise comes with it.
Yep.
When you work with me, you're not guessing what type of funnel you're doing. Why? It comes on the menu.
Got to be cheeky in the beat, man.
Monetize online business blueprint. How do you monetize online? And we give you our business blueprint. We franchise what we did to build a multi-million-dollar company, and we plug it into your business. That's not coaching, that's consulting. So I coach you, I consult you, and I only coach you on what we already built out. When you consult for a corporation, you're coming in and telling them what to do, not asking them. Hey guys, we need to hire 3 more people in order to scale and get a 30% this and this. Hey, we got to open up. Hey, we need 2 more factories to improve our fulfillment and to cut down on the lag time on deliveries. That's what a consultant does.
Right.
You're coming in and telling, this is what we need to improve this. Hey, okay, we only have 2. Okay, what you got? What's the bottleneck? Oh, the bottleneck is customer service. All right, we got too many people on the phone for customer service, not enough time for lead generation. All right, let's take one person on the phone from customer service. Let's move and improve our lead flow so we can get more clients and scale the company so then we can hire, with the money we make, more people on customer service. That's a consultant.
Yeah.
Coaching, so what do you guys think you need? Okay, once it's in place, you can bring out the best in the team. Totally different. I go in and I'm looking and saying, okay, what are they not doing? All right, oh, we got something for that. My man, because we just did a sales thing. You could say, we walked through the 15 different objections that somebody can ask you, and there's a script that tells you exactly what to say.
Exactly.
We talked about the 3 processes as it relates to what words to avoid, when to use sensory words versus directional words. When you're speaking from a webinar, why you shouldn't use you. What 5 questions have to be answered for people to be able to buy. That's consulting. That's me telling you this works. Do this.
So do you feel like the coaching business and the selling courses, do you feel like that's like a oversaturated business?
No.
Why so?
No. I want to laugh because I hear this, not at you, but I hear this a lot. It's only in our context, right? Our small, minuscule lane and road, do we think that saturation happens at the point of the algorithm. That whatever we see on our timeline, we think is happening everywhere.
Man. gosh, I'm telling you, yeah, for sure.
Man, everybody doing this. No, everybody's not. The algorithm is taught to feed you more of what you're eating.
Yeah.
Right. So you see it a lot because you're embracing it, but there's still a large group of people that's not involved in this world that you don't know. Now, why would I think that saturation wouldn't happen as it relates to courses? We just started selling them. Informational programs have been happening forever. Corporations have a budget, a line item every year for continued education. How could you run out of something that as long as people, let me make it even bigger. So on a grand scale, as long as people are typing words in the Google search engine, there will always be a need for educational products.
Man, what?
Because as long as you have a question, you will want someone to teach you how to do it. That's like saying, is college oversaturated?
It's never over. For
People
some
need
reason.
Google.
Is YouTube oversaturated? No. Why? There's over 8 billion people in the world, 4.3 billion active internet users.
4.3.
So even when you say your favorite celebrity, they got 500,000 followers, that's nothing.
Nothing.
Out of 4.3, that's nothing. That's zero. That's zilch. So saturation, that's not saturation. That's not saturation at all. If you say, man, we live in Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. If we just took over Decatur, you still ain't saturated Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you just took over Stone Mountain, you got some of the east side.
South side.
We think saturation is our street knowing about us. That's not saturation, fam. That's brand visibility.
That's true. And
That's brand awareness.
I just started realizing that saturation wasn't a thing. You want to know how I realized it wasn't a thing? Because when I started podcasting, we started getting serious about titling the episodes and going to see what people are looking up and see, are they interested in that topic? You start looking, because we see it all the time, right? So we may see people talk about real estate all the time, or we may see people talking about, taxes all the time. But then you go look it up and we like, all right, what should we name the video? We should talk about. And we're like, dang, it ain't really many people looking this up at all. It's just because, like you said, it's just the algorithm feeding us what we see all the time. So we thinking, dang, there's so many people doing it. But really, it is not.
The other thing is, even if there is like a large group of people doing it, you got an option, right? There's very few in the last few years. There's very little innovation. We think that a lot of innovation is happening. The internet is innovative. The internet as a whole, that's innovative. Everything else just built on top of it.
Dang, you don't even think about it like that, for sure.
Social media is some would say some levels of innovation, but in essence, it built on top of what was there.
Right.
When you think of the apps connected to Instagram, from the video apps and on down the line, well, they didn't build the app store. You get what I'm saying?
That's true.
Steve Jobs is brilliant and innovative. Why? He disrupted 5 different industries. How you consume music, how you communicate on a cellular device, how you when we were growing up, there was a computer in one room in the house.
No, you got it everywhere.
Right? He simplified the process. So when you think about from that to maps to on that, my man disrupted 5 different industries, and here's the brilliance of what he said in one of his books. He said, people shouldn't remember data, stats, and figures. I'm going to create a product where people don't depend on it. Well, you didn't opt in and sign up to forget your mama's phone number, but you don't remember it. You depend on a device. That's his vision.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That's his vision.
Hey, that's the only way we go on the internet. Go on that big old computer with the blurry screen.
And
type in what we want to try to have fun.
TomTom, Garlands,
yeah, for sure.
MapQuest.
Oh, print it out.
I remember the printed out the pages of directions.
Yeah.
We didn't have no Waze app, no Google Maps. We had like the paper. We had the paper. You had to follow directions all the way to the address.
That's innovative. It changes the way in which people live and do life. So I'm saying we can innovate within the space. Like, I feel like parts of it is what we're trying to do in the coaching space. That's why we don't sell courses. Why? And why I'm totally against, excuse anybody who loves them, I'm against ebooks. Unless it's done to complement someone's additional learning. There ain't nobody whose life been changed by an ebook. Not one.
Ebook just upcharges.
Right? So ultimately the person made money, but you didn't benefit the consumer.
Yeah.
So I'm for if you're going to do it, it's an attachment or an accompaniment. It's like the case for a cell phone. Sell the cell phone, sell the case. You should sell it as an attachment to something else that you're already providing.
Order bump.
That supports the learning, supports the information, supports the knowledge.
That's true.
Why am I against just, like now we do what we call all-inclusive programs. What is that? People don't want just a course. They need live coaching. They need interaction. They need a play Q&A. They need community. They need in-person. I don't let people choose. Our programs include all of them. Skill labs to practice the thing that we teach. So our programs include a skill lab. If I'm teaching you how to do a webinar, you can have a skill lab for it. We have support calls where it's just Q&A. You have live working sessions where you can meet with other people. That's a hybrid of everything. That's innovative. It's not, so we don't sell any course. If there is portal where you can go and watch videos, none of the videos are longer than 10 minutes. So you find your question, watch the video, and now you can come to the calls with working knowledge and information, be coached on it. That's innovative in the spaces where you're looking and saying, okay, what's the fail points? Why are people not completing courses, programs? Like, why are they not completing them? Well, to your point, how business works. Y'all tell me if this makes sense. Business is built on this baseline, supply and demand.
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
Well, how does a recession happen in our economy? When the supply far outsees the demand for a thing. So what's happening in the economy of content, knowledge, and information? There is a larger supply than there is a demand for people's attention. We're actually in a social media recession. The supply of content far outsees the demand of people's attention. People don't have enough attention that they can lend to watch what it is that everybody is putting out. If you follow 5,000 people and they each post 3 times a day, there's more supply than there is demand. If there's an hour episode, and I like your show, but I like this show, I like that show, and I love my kids. The supply of content that I consume far outsees the demand for my attention. I'm only one person, and I only got so much. So we're actually in an attention deficit where there's so much demand for attention that we cannot supply. Like, there's so much supply for people to watch, for people to listen, but the demand isn't there. Even if I want to, I can't.
That's what we was talking about. We were talking about that with somebody earlier. We were like the basically like the business podcast is like just I guess it's just out of date because there's more supply than there is demand. It's like there's all these people putting them out there, but not necessarily those people like the people want to hear like business podcasts.
Relationship podcast is going to soar in the next 2 years is what I believe.
They already doing it.
Take my word for it.
Our mentor
they're
mentor is a relationship podcast, right?
Who your mentor?
Ryan, Heartly Initiated.
Oh man!
So yeah, they don't. Yeah, so they
be
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's who let us grow. Had us a lot of growth. Shout out to them guys. Shout out to Heartly Initiated. They're really going crazy.
Ryan.
But they literally ones that help us like jumpstart us to the point where it is now.
Man, tell Ryan and Ty Marcus was on the show. Those my guys.
Yeah, we gonna text him afterwards. They will let me know because he probably like, oh y'all, that's a great guy. Good guy.
Group chat.
Yeah, we in the whole group chat.
Oh
so,
man,
for sure. And we've been so obviously. It's a lot of things going on with the courses and all that stuff, and that was an interesting take on there is a social media or content recession right now, which when you think about it, it's like, you're right. So how do you stand out during it? That's the thoughts that you start having. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you that. How do you stand? So during that recession, just like any business, that is you in an economic recession, you got to figure out how do I stand out and make people want to consume what I have. Yeah. What are those tips that you have for someone that is looking to stand out?
What happens in every recession? There's a whole group of people that were ready and had capital that capitalize on it and they become richer.
Yeah.
Every recession, every depression, the rich get richer, the poor get poor. So the consumers suffer, but the creators are the ones who win. So what do I do in a social media recession? I focus on deep empathy, high skill. People are not interested in consuming what does not improve or help them. So I'm willing to read an entire book in order to answer 2 questions in a podcast the average person isn't. So your content will not resonate the same way mine will because I actually understood what the person had a desire or a taste for. We are so ready to get in front of the camera, and most people pride themselves, man, I'm the type of person, I just wing it. Good luck.
Good luck.
So you don't have no preparation. But I did this in a night, and it looked like it. It sound like it.
It looked like
It looked like it sound like it, right? So you got to tell me that you understand me. You earn, like the same way you earn the right to be paid, you earn people's attention. You earn my attention by you interrupting a conversation I'm already having in my head. So I don't mind listening you talk about what I'm thinking about. But I mind you disrupting me and asking me to listen to you rant and talk about what matters to you and not what matters to me.
Dang.
So if you so that's my stance. My show, my episodes, my content, my secret hat is that all I do is turn questions into content. So if you have, like, I look at, how do I film my episodes? I'll look at an avatar and I'll think of, okay, who am I talking to? Okay, I want to talk to people who are doing live events, virtual events, and no one's showing up. It'll sound like this. What's up, family? So if you just did a virtual event and you're trying to figure out why no one showed up, you put all the energy, you put all the effort into it. Here's what you can do pre-event, during event, and post-event to make sure you're profitable. What did I just do?
You just answered that question.
And now, guess what you're going to listen to?
You talk. 'Cause
You
gotta
just
answer.
did an event. And get what 3 things that I promise you. I'm going to tell you what to do pre-event, before you do it, during the event, and post-event, and what's the promise to make sure you're profitable. That's a hook.
Dang.
Hook
man.
on the front, and then in the content, all I got to do is make good on the promise.
That's crazy. All right, so look, I got to get into this. I just feel like it'd be bad for, it wouldn't be right if I didn't ask this question, and I feel like it's something that really is helping me out, and that's what one of the things that helped me say, you know what, maybe coaching is not one of those things that I want to put my time into.
Yeah.
And it's your take on time management.
Wow.
Is your take on time management. I just, and you could just go into it and break it down for them and just talk about it and
Yeah.
how do you deal with, because you got a lot of stuff. You're a busy guy. You got you got a media company, education company. You got all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ministry.
Yeah.
How are you able to manage all those things? Because most people wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. Time management is a myth. You can't manage what you don't own and you don't control. Time on God payroll, not yours. Let there be. And it was. What's the difference between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Nothing. They both got day and night, 24 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
So the only thing that alters and changes is your priority and your focus of the day. So what you have is task management, not time management.
That's crazy.
What you also have is focus management, not time management. Time is controlled focus.
Dang.
Because the same person can sit for three days out the week and watch, let's say back in the day, I remember people used to watch Scandal every week for an hour. Somebody else read a book every week for an hour. It ain't the time that changes your life. It's the focus management, task management.
You just said ain't nothing different between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, the
It's
weekend
your
is a
focus.
myth. Yeah, weekend is a myth.
It's your focus on that
a myth.
day.
It
Like,
is.
what's supposed to happen on this day?
Yeah, the weekend is a myth. What's the
That's
weekend?
crazy.
What's that? What's Monday? What's that?
Why
What's
do
Tuesday?
people feel better on Saturdays and Sundays?
Because
Monday through Friday.
they created a narrative in their mind and produced a focus that says I rest on these days, I work on these days.
That's wild.
It's task management. It's focus management. You cannot manage what you cannot control, but what can you control? Focus and tasks.
Now, how you do that? How can you manage those? What is that framework for you? Because, like I said, he loves framework. So give us the
Yeah.
framework. Don't hold it back from us. We need it.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of ways. Whether it's like for some people, they're trying to just dominate and win in the morning. There's a thing around that. Like for me, I've got a very strong morning routine. First hour of the day, 100% belongs to me. So I do something called 20-20-10-10. 20 minutes as soon as I wake up. So long. I bet if I go to my alarm right now, I still got 20 minutes left on that joint because that's how it goes in rotation. Yep.
Oh yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
So 20-20-20-10. So first 20 minutes of my day. It's not important what I do. It's important for people to segment it, but I'll say it quickly. First 20 for me is prayer. Because when I wake up, I typically don't feel like doing the thing that I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. I've made it to where I memorize that first part to channel my mind to do and say the same thing, right? You'll flow later. No, you don't need to flow. I say the same thing every morning.
Yeah.
Then it starts flowing. So first 20 minutes is prayer. Second 20 minutes is reading. Sometimes I don't feel like reading, so I'll do like a little bit of reading, a little bit of like listening, like audio. Right?
Yep.
The next 10 is broken up into 5 and 5. That's 5 minutes of creative visualization, 5 minutes of meditation. Here's the difference. What most people think is meditation is visualization. Visualization or creative visualization, where you sit and picture what you want to see, what you want to feel. Meditation is where you sit in it and you keep regurgitating the same memory, the same thought, letting these things, you know what I'm saying? Where you're sitting and you're not making yourself think of nothing, because that don't happen.
Yeah.
You're giving focus and attention to the thing you want, right? Select that selective focus. And then the last 10 minutes is the cleanup. Anything I felt that felt good in them first 50 that I want to do more of. That's the cleanup, right? So some would say, how do you manage throughout the day? Well, first and foremost, the same way that you would set a calendar invite, or the same way you say this show premieres at a certain time, what did you do? You gave a focus to that time, to that moment. Hey man, meet me at 3 o'clock. So you built your whole day around what time? 3 o'clock.
That is true. Yeah.
So what you did before and what you do after is because you had a focus of 3 p.m. So the task was controlled by the focus of 3 p.m.
And was there like an actual difference between when you were like just doing that in the morning and rather than not doing that in the morning?
100%. 100%. Because waking up being reactionary to life is totally different than waking up sitting in the driver's seat, where you're priming yourself, you're warming yourself up, and you know going into the day, you're ready to kill it, right? So when people, like, bro, your focus is a muscle just like your arms are a muscle, right? So I got a trainer to come to my house, and the other day he was like, hey, I like it when he tells me do 15 reps, do 20 reps. I hate it when he say go into exhaustion.
I hate that. They be like, we don't got no number, we just going.
Right? Or time, right? Because your muscles give out at a certain point. Well, focus is the same. Focus is a muscle. You only have so much bandwidth of it. So the difference is in the morning, in essence, I'm telling myself where my focus is going to go. I am setting for me an agenda of saying these are the most important things that I theme the day. Like Monday is my coaching days. I love my clients, but I also realize that the best thing for them is what is best for me. Mm-hmm. So I don't coach beyond Monday. Like people that's in my programs know all my programs happen on Monday. What if Monday don't work for them? Then I don't work for them.
Simple.
Tuesday is my content day. I create content on Tuesdays. In what window of time? Between 12 and 4 or 12 and 5. Wednesday, wellness. And I check on myself, and that's where, like, someone will say, well, when you spend time with your wife? Wednesday. Someone will say, do you spend time every day? Yeah. But focus time? Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, someone is going to be crazy and say, well, now that ain't fair. I believe that if you're building anything that is of significance, you are contributing to society and to several people in a whole lot of ways. So if such is the case, you're going to constantly feel guilty like you're not giving anything your all. I think that the best way to manage time and manage life tasks is through juggling, meaning make sure no week go by without you touching everything and handling it, and just don't let them drop.
Wow.
Now, it is better to do that than to then say, well, I'm going to do everything all 7 days and nothing ever gets you.
That's true.
It don't get the best version of you.
That's true.
So Monday, they get the best version of me. They get all of me on my coaching day. Tuesday, get the best version of me on. Why do I do content day on Tuesday? Because on Sundays, I do spiritual teachings. Monday, I do coaching. Tuesday, content day is easier because I know what felt good when I taught on Sunday and Monday. So I roll that over to Tuesday when I film the content. It's you know what I'm saying? It's process. Wednesday is when I start studying more and organizing the thought. I don't create on the same day I organize. So on the same day I'm researching, I'm not creating. I'm just allowing myself to be fed, to learn, to listen. Thursday is my think day. Processing information, organizing. Now I can be creative. Friday's a flex day, whatever I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Now I know going into it when I wake up Monday morning,
I know what I'm doing.
it's showtime. It's coaching day.
10
a.m. my first joint. But that ain't clients at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. that's when I'm coaching someone on my team if they're underperforming. And I hate it. So if you're on there at 10, you know you've moved from being a star player, and you're in that we're probably about to release you. So if I'm retraining you, you already know, and it's not ambiguous. If you're on my Monday staff coaching call, we're trying to retrain you in the company, and typically that means that your director or your manager couldn't do it, and now I've got to train you on these top things like communication, core competencies, culture. So if I got to train you on those, you're probably on your way out.
You're probably on your way out.
Yeah.
Man, okay. So break this down, right? I'm just gonna say it: MVPs, VIPs.
Yeah.
Break that down for us real quick. You ain't gotta go too deep. I guess not too deep into it, but break that down for us real quick.
So I felt like people needed a filter to decide what they say yes to and what they say no to. Why did I feel that way? Because I was there. I was overextended. Because I'm a loyal person, I was saying yes to people at the expense of saying no to myself. Because every time I tell you yes, that means I had to say no to something I wanted or I needed. So every yes comes with a cost.
That's true. Ooh.
So I realized I couldn't afford to say yes as often as I was saying it, and I needed a filter to know, with an integrity of being a good friend, a good person, how do I say integral to the people I love and also stay in integrity to me and God? I needed a filter. How do I know what gets me? Because there's one of me.
That's true.
So I actually introduced this thought to my inner circle because the goal is to teach them how to be CEOs and run companies. So I mapped out, here's the filter of what we say yes and no to and what makes it to your calendar. Your VIPs is the filter. Is it valuable? You're asking yourself these 3 questions and it must score 3 for 3. Is it valuable? Is it important? Is it profitable? Is it valuable? Is it important? Is it profitable? If it's only important but it's not valuable, it gets a no. It gotta score 3 for 3. So that's the filter. Even if you look at your calendar and you realize you got stuff on there that don't match that, you gotta go get your yes back.
What do you mean by go get your yes back?
Be a big boy. Stand in your truth and say, hey, I apologize. Hey, I know I told you 6 months ago I can make it. Unfortunately, like I've got some things that are really valuable and important and profitable to me and my family. I've got to say no to that right now. However, I'm going to reevaluate and see if I can say yes at a further date. If not, I apologize if I can't. That's a clear conversation. I'm not even going to promise you that I'm going to reschedule it if it doesn't fit the metrics of that, right?
Right.
So that's a VIP.
I hope y'all taking it. Tell you, I hope you're listening.
You're one person for every task, but every task is not enough for the one person. Everything in your life, the common denominator is you. So your wife needs you, your family needs you, God needs you, you need you. Now, how you gonna decide who gets you?
Oh my gosh.
This is what I'm teaching this weekend. How you gonna decide who gets you?
Oh my.
Business needs you, your health needs you, your emotional health needs you, your mental health needs you, your hygiene needs you, tasks around the house needs you. The recreational side of you that want to have fun and play needs you. The podcast needs you. Real estate needs you. Bills need you. Mama and daddy need you. Family needs you. Wife needs you. Kids need you. And you need you. How you going to decide who gets you?
Man, let me tell you.
It's VIP.
Man, so and one way you do that, after you go ahead and filter that out, now let's see how you place them in order with the MVP.
Yeah. So VIPs is the filter. MVPs is the order they go in. My most valuable priorities. So you extract from, okay, I said yes to these 5 things, but what order should they be placed in? Now you go MVPs. This is my most valuable priority, that go first. This is my second most valuable priority. This is my third. Here's my fourth. You can categorize them, right? So if you say, most people have a perceived value of most valuable priority. They say family, but if their calendar doesn't reflect it, their focus doesn't reflect it, their time don't reflect it. That's a perception and a professed value. Most important thing to me is God, but God gets the least of them. So it's a proclaimed value. It's not a real value, because real values can be seen, expressed. You build your life around those.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that is crazy. So, I mean, it's like, I just hope y'all was really taking that in, because that's just something that, off of that alone, I was like, I just got to have my own, really just off of that alone. Because that was just something that really, I feel like a lot of people need. They just don't know how to first of all, figure out what they need to be doing, and then how to prioritize it. That's a whole nother problem on a whole different scale.
Yeah.
Right. So I just felt like people definitely need to hear that. So I know that you also have a ministry, online ministry.
Yeah.
Right? I definitely wanted to go ahead and ask you about this. You obviously feel like all these things tie in, right?
Yeah.
With your spiritual, your physical, and not spiritual, physical, and financial. All those things just tie in. So why do you feel that? Do you feel like it's important to have a lot of faith when you're in business, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah. I only know how to talk about what I believe has shaped and built my life. Right. So I can't tell someone what to believe. Right. That would be arrogant. However, I know for me, my faith has been the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. Why? Because my faith introduced me to me. I didn't know I was gifted until God showed me I was.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what I could be until he told me what I can be. And when he told me what I can be and I saw what I was, it aggravated me with what I was. So I changed because I wanted to become what he showed me that I was. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What God typifies for us is finally something or someone that has the answers to questions that life and nobody else can tell us.
Wow.
He knows, like, he has classified information about our future while we struggle to understand our present.
Oh, my goodness.
He typifies infinite wisdom that we don't search Google and we don't wait until it's too late and find out. And I'm too old to keep saying, oops, ouch, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm too old to waste a year of my life trying to figure out, is this what I should be doing? I understood my purpose. I became more confident. I told a friend of mine, he was like, man, I don't do that faith thing. I said, if at the end of my life, if all it did was give me a filter that treat people better, that respected and treated myself better, that managed my time, that managed my money, and had a moral compass that said that I want to impact and help people, I'm okay with that.
That's it.
What did it take from me? So my faith, if it gives more to me than it takes from me,
Then why not? Because that's something I struggle with. Just answering questions for. Because people are like, why do you believe in that? Why are you? It's not my. I don't try to convince other people to do what I do whatsoever.
Yeah.
But they ask me questions like, you reading the Bible, you praying and stuff like that. Why you feel like that's so important? Well, it really does nothing wrong, right? I'm not harming you by doing it. And it's not harming me, right? It's just literally, I tell people they just got to believe in something, because if you don't believe in nothing, like they say, you'll fall for anything. It just gives you some type of moral compass or some stuff that I will do this and I will not do this. Yeah. And I feel like that's just the most important thing about it.
Well, my stance on faith is probably a little different than most, right? Because I think if faith is done correctly, if it's not going to be a user error, when people say, man, that don't work, it's normally user error. Meaning, faith is not like as it was before. Faith is not a get out of work free card. So it's not the excuse that we use to do nothing while asking divine intervention to do everything. That's not it. Faith is not just morality, because there are people who are naturally more moral than people who are attempting to be, who are claim faith.
Yeah.
Right. So faith is not a matter of morality. Faith is not a matter of finances. Faith is not a matter of struggle. It's not any of those things. Ultimately, what we're talking about is life transformation. The ability to optimize who you are. Like, a cell phone means nothing if I can't plug it in.
Yeah.
If I can't plug it in and charge it up to utilize all of its potential. So if I have nothing to plug into, what then becomes my source? I didn't make myself. What is the source in which I plug myself into to optimize all that I can do, become, and have?
Got to recharge.
Yeah.
Gotta recharge. Man, look, I just know we've been for a minute. This man gave out so much game, and if you guys have not taken anything from this, just stop watching the show.
Yeah, I was about to say, we could probably go all day.
Honestly, just stop watching the show, because he's just been so everything that you guys think is important, right? He even went to physical with working out. It may not have been that long, but mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually, he has went into all those things. So you guys definitely should be tuning in to him, right? But what I would like to say is we drop these episodes at the beginning of the week, right? The very beginning of the week. So what we like to do is we like to leave our audience with something they actually could go implement this week, like at this moment right now, and become better this week. We call it Give Them Some. So we want you to give us some game that they can actually go implement right now and go ahead and better yourselves. You gonna look into that camera right there. Even
I'm
though
right
you've been
here.
giving out enough already.
I got you. All right. So I will tell you right now, before you do anything, make a date with yourself and don't be late. Meaning, put you on the calendar. If someone told you they would meet with you on Thursday and they would give you $1 million, you would not miss it. You would make sure your outfit is picked out. You would make sure that everything is built around it. But what if you met with you and decided you were going to set a timer on your phone for 15 or 20 minutes to decide to put a clock on all of your thoughts? How long will it take you to learn it? How long will it take you to do it? So right now, you should be scheduling time with yourself, putting a clock on your thought, because there's a thin line between perfectionism and procrastination. There's no such thing as perfectionism. You can only perfect what you've done. So if you haven't done it yet, you're procrastinating.
Oh my goodness. And he just dropped some more game, man. Where can they find you at? Where can they follow you at? Where can they get you at?
I'm the easiest person in the world to find, whether you're FBI or jealous girlfriend. Marcus, the letter Y, R-O-S-I-E-R. Marcus Y. Rozier. My social media drugs of choice is Instagram and YouTube. So we're trying to get that YouTube up, man. Go subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. New videos are uploaded every Monday and Thursday. And check us out on Instagram every day of the week, 7 days a week, 3 times a day we post on social media.
Oh my goodness, man. He's going crazy. You can't, like you said, he's easy to find. He got an overload of content. So hopefully y'all are getting it. And he, like he said, he studies what he's putting out there. He would just go read a book just so he can make sure he give you guys 2 of those tips or 2 of those questions that you guys need answers. So he giving you answers. So guys, we'll appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are on YouTube, go over to other platforms such as Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever that is. Leave us 5 stars. Say something nice, because more people need to hear this message. And I'm talking about this one, and specifically the one with Marcus. They need to hear it, right? And also, you guys can go follow us on Instagram at _on-the-porch, where you guys can catch a lot of those clips, a lot of those moments. If you just say you're just lazy and don't want to watch the whole episode, or you may be busy, just go ahead and go get some good gems off of there. Follow me on Instagram at _on-the-porch. BJ, where can they find you at?
Hey, y'all can go ahead and follow me at _BJ Real. Most importantly, guys, go follow us on Instagram and YouTube at _on-the-porch. We're on all platforms, guys. We're not hard to find. And we're putting out this great game week after week so you guys could develop and just take it in and just process on a week-to-week basis, guys. So y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and just keep supporting us, and we gonna support you.
All right, we out. Peace.
Gone.
Man.
JT on the track again.
Hey, run that shit up, Chase.